he gets heavily discounted prices, obviously wholesale prices on alcohol. And so I bought a case of Veuve Clicquot champagne. Welcome to the Nick's Boots from Start to Finish podcast. I'm your host, Shyler Mao. I've got Lucas Grassberger here. We've got Justin running the camera, supervised by Andrew Garcia. Today we're going to tell you what's coming. What is it coming? I know some of it. Lucas knows some of it, and hopefully we can meander our way through this.
Yeah.
But lots of different things to discuss. Should we start? Maybe we start with some of the marketing stuff, and then we get to the products that people really care about.
Sure.
Well, we've got the Contender Championship going on right now.
Yep.
When this comes out, you'll have one more day to participate and get your chance at developing a custom and unique leather from Horween Tanning. Horween Leather Company? I don't know.
Horween Leather Company.
Yeah, and then it's like Seidel Tanning. I mean,
Yep.
that's confusing.
Yeah, they should get together and just decide on something.
They're basically a duopoly at this point. So we've got that, and then we will have the work version coming out in February, and then we'll have the combined championship in March. Already some great participation there, some really nice photography. So thank you all for that. It's an honor to have you as part of our little customer group.
Do we want to talk about the prize for the work Contender Championship?
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Oh, so I believe the prize is the winner of the work Contender Championship will be able to outfit how many?
So they'll get their own boot, obviously, their own free boot. But then as a nod to those, tight-knit work groups that we're all, hopefully a part of, you will be able to outfit 3 of your closest coworkers with their own pair of Nick's boots.
Yep.
So that's cool. I learned this from my holiday party, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I gave away. So I've got a buddy. He's got a bar. Got a bar up in Idaho, and he gets heavily discounted prices, obviously wholesale prices on alcohol. And so I bought a case of Veuve Clicquot champagne, thinking I was going to serve this at the party, and I did, but I also had a lot left over, and I was like, you know what if we give away these bottles as parting gifts as people leave the party? Now this was my family, my wife's family, so it wasn't a ton of people, and these people went freaking nuts, and I think it's because if you give somebody something, it's one thing if it's meaningful to them or, helps them or, is part of their experience. But I think it gets really magnified if you give something to somebody that lets them feel special when they share it with somebody else.
Sure.
So that is kind of the motivation behind the outfitting idea. And so hopefully, your coworkers will appreciate you, and maybe they'll give you the better jobs for at least a couple weeks after you get them their free pairs of boots.
Yep. Now I have a question. Is it how many? I think 5 of them. Is the Doc Lyman crew allowed to join in on this contest?
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because they're already matching.
Yeah, that's a fair point. We love those guys.
Yeah.
And hopefully, they participate. But maybe we'll get some new blood. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
Cool.
I
think it's an awesome prize.
We haven't quite determined the final prize for the combined championship. It'll be sweet. So it'll have to be better than.
I know we're setting the bar pretty high.
Yeah.
For these two, so
yeah. But we'll come up with something really good. It may just be cash. I don't know. We'll see. So that's coming. I was in everybody's favorite, in the headquarters of everyone's favorite influencer, Roseanneville, last Monday. just kind of planning out the rest of the year. So you'll see some interesting things. Obviously, we're launching the new tanker with him. That's coming up the weekend. But it's obviously, his version is the Alien Core, which I think is sick. But it'll also be available as like a new build. So we're kind of doing it together to kind of launch this new model for us. So kind of the tanker 3.0.
I did see that was a big question when the reveal came, was whether that was going to be exclusive to him or if this was something else.
So no, it's a new model for us, obviously in those very cool kind of core leathers that he has, you'll be able to get that brand new green version, but will also be available in the other leathers as well. So adding some really nice features, the padded tongue, the relief cut. Does it have the offset counter as well? No. Okay.
Just because that doesn't quite work with the tanker setup.
Got it. Okay. So you get two great new features, with the relief cut and the padded collar or padded tongue. I keep saying that. I keep saying padded collar. It's padded tongue. So that you get a nice little color match there.
Yeah.
So you can wear it with shorts, like you would. Nope. Okay. Well, tankers and shorts, baby. So that's coming up. We will be doing some interesting things, I think, around maybe a blue we talked about potentially. I don't know. We'll see.
With Weston?
Yeah. We've got some interesting things that we're working on.
Yeah.
And obviously, some of those will be in conjunction with our product launch schedule that we'll talk about in a little bit. We're also thinking about maybe opening up the ND3 builds to be a little more flexible. So I think that's something you might see in March, which hopefully makes some people happy. I know there's been some consternation that specific lineman patch is kind of exclusive to that arrangement. So this will give some people some flexibility to take advantage of that.
Customization with like
colors, leather types, that sort of thing. Yeah. What else? We're working on like a referral program and a loyalty program as well. Still need to kind of hammer out the details on that. One issue with that is some of the programs we're having or we're looking at they don't look backwards as well. And especially the fact that a lot of our orders are in an old system. It's hard to kind of get all that data into one place to be referenced by that one system. So just working through some technical challenges there. We're working on a self-serve order editing tool as well.
Really excited for that one.
Yeah, so that obviously selfishly, reduces the need for people to have to reach out to make small changes to their order. But I think also can be a fun thing for people. They can kind of play around with what they want their order to eventually be before it goes into production. And,
Yeah, the thought process right now is you will have basically up until like we schedule it, so like 2 weeks before it starts, to just tinker with it as much as you want. There will obviously be a cutoff so that we can then schedule it for the sake of leather inventory and everything else.
Yep.
But yeah, you'll be able to mess around and make the changes you want to make, especially like size stuff. I know that's the biggest change that people make, so you can resize yourself. You don't have to, worry about getting that order in, with the correct size you can order and then, verify.
Yeah. So we're all about engagement here, I just talked to Ben at Stitch Down. He's doing some cool stuff. So I think we're going to have him, in addition to doing the Chicago, it's not going to be called Boot Camp. I think it's just going to be called Stitch Down now.
Oh, okay.
So a little bit of a minor rebrand.
Cool.
We've outgrown Boot Camp, just like Justin did, Yeah, so Boot Camp, I think, was maybe a little too specific to boots or something like that. And so now there's going to be some other product types there. So they needed a little bit of a bigger umbrella. But he's also trying to come out here in the summer and film some, I think, really interesting content. We're trying to get Big Daddy Whites on board, see if we can also maybe tell a little bit of a broader story about the PNW, business in general. And he's trying to get me to open my kimono a little bit and talk about Knicks and everything that's going on here and talk about the business, what it's like to run this weird American manufacturing, direct to consumer, passionate fans.
Yeah.
very meticulous fans, customers. What's that like?
It's great.
So yeah, I think that could be fun. So yeah, those are just some highlights. I mean, there's a lot more.
Yeah.
But those are just kind of some of the things that we've got kind of top of mind. Lucas, why don't you talk about it from a product standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, so just a quick, like, in the immediate future, even, I guess, this goes out Tuesdays, right? So...
It's gone out on Tuesdays.
Okay.
For how many years?
This will be 132, so 131.
Yeah, so like almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I should know that. So yesterday we just launched our buck knives.
How'd it go?
It went fantastic. We sold out. No, not really. Go buy them. Hopefully we sold out.
Shoot.
Go find out for yourself. But yeah, so we have an option to get a buck knife with a knife boot, knife pocketed boot. And then also we're selling the 120 and the 119 with Wicket and Craig sheaths. They look really, really nice. So we just did that. That's part of our long-standing, kind of partnership that we've been doing with buck knives for a while. We also found a whole bunch of half soles when we did inventory this year.
The built rights.
Yes. So we have built rights. We also just got in a big order of Dr. Soles. So half soles are back, or will be coming back soon. But then kind of, looking at the whole year, we've got quite a bit of things we're working on. So you'll see some more 1925 last options coming. So we've got, that dress last. We've currently got the 1925 just kind of MTO product. We'll be coming out with some more standardized, product options, kind of like the Robert Falcon setup. I may be coming with a more dressy Chelsea option that we're working through to kind of go along with that last. We've, of course, got our boot of the month bottom, launching a boot every month, fun configurations. Updated tanker, which we're launching. We're also updating some other patterns. The Wellington might see some improvements here pretty soon. Little things, cleaning up the backstay, and then we'll also have an option for side pull loops, which has been a big request.
A modified Thurman last for safety toes?
Modified safety toe. Thurman last is definitely on the list here, so that's coming. And then kind of focusing, building out some of the other existing stuff, so like more zero drop options, more Western last options. That's a lot. Those are lasts, the 5332 and 5812 that we've had for a very long time, but we never had a great last inventory. So we've kind of had to kind of push it in the corner and like intentionally limit its options because we didn't have enough lasts to run them through. So we've got a big last order coming, and so you'll see a lot more options with those lasts this year. Those are kind of like the little things. We've got some actual new boot models we're working on. So the Romeo boot that I think we talked about.
We've talked about that for a while, Lucas.
Yeah, we tried last year to get this done, and just it's hard making boots and then designing new boots and trying to find that balance. But I think we've got a good kind of plan to move forward. So we got that coming, hopefully in the next couple months. And then I think the one you're really excited about, the sneaker boot. So this is a zero drop, like a high top sneaker style silhouette. Think like Air Jordan, that very classic silhouette. With the PNW style. So it'll have like our PNW logger heel counter, and like it'll look like a really cool mix between the two.
Yeah, I mean we're always trying to find things to kind of fill in the gaps in the warmer months.
Yeah.
That just tends to be where we don't have as many sales. So that is one of the strategies.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the strategies.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm thinking zero drop last, really flexible, so 360 stitch down, something that is that kind of perfect marriage of like a PNW boot and the sneaker. Really excited for that one. Also, something kind of like a jodhpur style boot, which, if you don't know what that is, it's essentially like a 6-inch tinker. It's got straps rather than laces.
Like a work jodhpur.
Yeah. So jodhpur is traditionally a very dressy boot, but we want to, do our own kind of spin on it.
Yeah.
And make it more focused towards work with that, mechanical, function of, the straps on a shorter boot. And then the last thing we're working on, the last kind of big project in terms of new models, is a women's pull-on, which will be something I think a lot of people will be really excited for, something a little outside of our typical wheelhouse, but I think it'll be really cool.
I agree. Yeah, so I'm going to have to hire like 17 more sewers, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, so that's the tricky thing, is we're still kind of working through the details of how that'll look and how that'll work.
Yep.
Throwing a zipper on the side of a boot, that if we do like a 12 to 14 inch tall women's boot, it's a lot of sewing.
Yeah.
So we're going to work through that and figure out exactly how we want to achieve that. But those are the 4 big projects for the year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and we have like a big surprise in hopefully April as well that we'll be dropping. And it's going to be an interesting year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm anxious. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous. But yeah, we're ready.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're ready.
Yeah. I feel like there's always a little bit of anxiousness with big new projects.
Well, especially when it's January.
Yes.
I hate January.
Beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time and effort in a big new thing, and it's like, there's a chance it flops.
Yeah.
That's always terrifying to think about.
Yeah. We'll do great. It'll be great.
Yep.
Lucas, I was thinking, it's like in the past, we've tried to be very secretive with this stuff. Why are we telling everyone what we're going to do over the next 11 months?
That's a great question. Because we're going to do it, partly. But, I think in the past, you can tell me, but I feel like sometimes we've been a little worried that, someone's going to swoop in there and beat us to the punch. But I think we've got a really great team now. I think everyone's got really good, spots on the team, and I'm feeling confident we can hit all of this and hit it well.
All right. That's a good answer. Yeah. Because we're going to do it, and we're going to do it on time and under budget.
Oh, of course.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Anything else? What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting stuff.
That's definitely not all we're doing this year.
Yeah. Just some highlights. We've got the new Admiral leathers coming in. I'm excited about that.
Leathers.
I'm about. When do you want me to do Boots on the Line, the video?
This week's gonna be belts on the line, so probably next week.
Okay. So I've got some interesting samples. Skip called me, I think late last week, and was like, "Hey, I have this weird thing."
It's interesting. Do you care? We
No, you can talk about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's a aniline CXL, and I can't remember. He called it something Scotch, hammered Scotch.
Okay, it's like a Scotch grain. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got like a textured.
Yeah.
Like a pressed texture to it, which is really cool. Almost looks like cobblestones, like really small pebbles.
Yeah. Bigger than a crosshatch. Bigger than a crosshatch, but smaller than maybe a shrunken, So kind of in between.
Yeah. It's a really cool leather. I think it's going to be one of those where it's you'll love it or you hate it kind of thing. I know some people don't love a lot of texture on their boots, but I think it's really cool. It's different than anything else that we've done.
Do we still have a hole in the new leather drop schedule in April?
That is kind of, so we're actually meeting tomorrow to build out the rest of the leather drop schedule, because we've got a whole bunch of new samples that we've put on that schedule. Yeah.
I wonder if we should do another voting thing or something.
Yeah, it might be worthwhile. Yeah, because we got all those Wicket and Craig samples. We've got the Admiral. There's that new Shrunken Bison that you just showed us.
Yes.
Which is really cool. the Nightshade.
Yeah.
And then we've thrown through a ton of samples.
Should we bring turquoise back?
Yes,
Okay.
turquoise is definitely coming back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because I mean, it was only available for a month, but like people loved it. And as those boots are coming through, I think it's just now seeing more and more on finished boots. I think people are really, really liking it. So,
Okay.
I think it might make it into the regular rotation.
I think it should.
I think this and that new leather should both make it into the
Yeah, I
regular
never thought
rotation.
we'd be making boots like this, but it actually, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, so it's just a quick summary of
Yeah.
what is to come. We appreciate you. Thank you for being a customer, thinking of being a customer, or just listening to us talk about boots and necks and, you know, the bootosphere. We will talk to you next week and hope you have a productive, safe, and profitable week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.